he made me feel really comfortable right off the bat. So I felt comfortable with him, I think, again, like the initial meeting. Just had like a really good conversation with him just about life again, goals, thanked him for introducing me to Katie and becoming a Ford model. And he asked a lot of questions about that and, what kind of events and things I was going. Did I know a lot of models? And he definitely wanted to know, like, how much I networked and how many people I knew and just how, like.
Did you have any siblings growing up?
I have an older brother and younger sister, yeah.
Were you ever close with them?
Not really, no.
So at that time, your older brother and younger sister and your parents, you obviously are not discussing any of this with them.
Well, my family lived in Germany at the time because after Belgium, they moved to Germany. My sister lived in Germany. It wasn't really, we were never really super close family, no.
Why do you think you were never close with your siblings? What was it?
I don't know. I think sometimes that comes from the parents, right? That keeps the siblings close, making sure that, you support each other and you keep that conversation going. But I think my mother kind of like played us against each other a lot, I just remember being very alone in my early 20s when I was navigating life by myself. I didn't really have them to call on, or I didn't really have that close family bond growing up. So that was kind of missing. And I think that's what Epstein picked up on me too. He would ask me lots of questions. Are you close to your father? And I would say, I traveled all around the world growing up, had everything I wanted. I played all the sports, but he would say, oh, how often does he call you? And I'm like, doesn't really ever call me.
Oh boy.
Never ever called me to check up on me and stuff. So I didn't have that, emotional bond with my father. I never had that. So I think he definitely stepped right into that role because he was definitely a mentor role to me. And I really looked up to him a lot. After I got to know him more, I really looked up to him in that way.
Ultra predators like him, unfortunately, you see the profile, at least like I've seen it when people have talked about it, like sometimes they are psychologically evil geniuses.
Oh, he's an evil genius. Brilliant. Master manipulator.
Yes.
Yeah, he knew exactly how to get into my psyche and he knew what worked. He probably saw it on the island, and that's why 4 months later when he called me up, he was like, I remember what you said on the island, that you wanted to be a Ford model. He knew exactly how to reel me in. Probably took him a while to get to it because 4 months it didn't work. And he was like, oh, what did she say to me that I can make work? Because he had already spoken to Katie Ford and already gotten me in there by the time he called me up. It was like, go over there.
You said when he came into the room that first time on the island, when he sat down, he started asking about your dreams, your family and all that. Now you're literally recounting exact examples, but
he remembered it.
Yeah.
What men remembers what girls are talking about their dreams and ambitions? None of them,
Ones who have ulterior motives, for sure.
Exactly.
Or on the other end, ones that really do care. It can go either way. Obviously, he wasn't that.
But he pretended like he really, really cared.
That's right.
I definitely thought after I got to know him that he really cared about me. How stupid was that? But that's what I thought.
It's not stupid.
That's what I thought.
I totally, again, evil, sociopathic, genius who, that's the thing. So many smart people I talk to, from the psychiatrist and psychologist side will tell you, they're the best sociopaths are the one who know how to make it look like they're in no way that until it matters. Until they're
and every decision that I made was because I wanted to make it, not because he was manipulating me to make that.
That's right.
No, he was brilliant about it. Yeah.
So 4 months later, after all this was the one where it got put on the schedule that you were going to meet with him? Okay. And you were already at Ford at this point?
Yeah. No, I was a Ford model.
Now you're at Ford, so he had made that call. So you see his name on the schedule, you're like, well, I guess I got to go. What's your initial reaction though? Like, oh, fuck? Or like...
Well, I just remember calling my agent to say I didn't want to go.
And what did they say?
Well, I think she made a call probably to Katie Ford just to see. But I remember her saying, oh, I have to go. He has connections with Victoria's Secret and things like that. So I think you need to go. And remember at the time, I didn't know how close the agency owner was to Epstein. I had no idea they were sending each other girls. I just thought, well, that's funny. Why would I have to go see that guy?
Right.
But I went, and I went to that Upper East Side mansion, knocked on that big door, and walked right in, and
There wasn't like a moment where you're like, "Ugh, I'm really about to do this," or were you just kind of like, they told me I have to do this, I'm going to do this?
of course there was that thought, I know what happened on the island, so I was nervous about it, but I just thought, oh, well, he helped me to get into the agency. They said he was great, and she said, oh, I love Jeffrey, he's a good guy and all that stuff. So I thought, okay, he's a good guy now. So now in my head, he did something for me. He's a good guy. And so I went and met with him, and I had a really, really great conversation with him for about an hour. I talked to him about all sorts of things and, laughed and talked about my real goals and ambitions again. And
Did he answer the door?
No.
Someone else answers, right?
No, like the butler. The butler answered the door.
Juan Alessi?
Probably was Juan.
Okay.
It probably was Juan. If not, I can't remember who answered the door the first time. It wasn't. It was probably one of the maids.
Okay.
But they let you in and they seat you in the room until you're ready to go up the stairs into his office.
Okay, so they take you up, escort you to the office, and that's where you have this hour-long conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What the second you walked in there, before you have this good conversation that I do want to hear more about, like you see him for the first time, what's the feeling like?
Deep breath. He made me feel really comfortable right off the bat. So I felt comfortable with him, I think, again, like the initial meeting. Just had like a really good conversation with him, just about life again, goals, thanked him for introducing me to Katie and becoming a Ford model. And he asked a lot of questions about that and, what kind of events and things I was going. Did I know a lot of models? And he definitely wanted to know, like, how much I networked and how many people I knew and just how, like, deep I was in the modeling business and knew people, which I knew a lot of people then. And so I think that was kind of exciting for him that I knew a lot of other young girls. And we just had like a really good, I just remember a really good conversation. And he was on the phone with a really important person. And so he made it a point to let me know like who he was on the phone with. I could hear him talking and
you're not going to say who that was.
Well, he was like a billionaire at the time and I knew who he was.
Well, that narrows it down. I mean, this guy, every person on the emails is like billionaire.
But a billionaire, you would know his name. Who recently came out in the files.
Ooh.
So I heard him talking to him. And then he told me like a little secret about him. And so he was trying to make me feel like really comfortable, kind of like I was in like one of his people or, he was really good. So it was just a really good conversation. So I thought at the time that was going to be it. I thought that was it. So I kind of like got
You thought you'd never see him again after that?
Well, I don't know. I just thought that was it. I thought, well, that was great. Thank you, for everything you did for me. Wonderful. Like, just wanted to get out of there. And then I just kind of like got my bag and stuff all ready and I tried to like get out of there. And he just was like, no, where are you going?
And then does it clock back like, oh shit, this is now going to be...
He was like, let's do a massage.
Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
What goes through your head when he says that?
I didn't really have time to think because he was right out the door to the massage room. So there goes the next massage. So that's when I had the next massage, which was exactly like the first one.